Glory, glory, Man United. Glory. Oh, you know who sings song for me? Actually.
And
Is that the thing you support?
So much, I hear that people have been saying that I support Man United.
Yeah, now you
I hear.
But what do you say?
I was watching the football with him. I was watching it with him.
Oh.
Hey, man, you.
People say that I'm a Man United fan.
People say. What
that
do you say?
What do I say? Oh, me, I'm a journalist.
Yes.
I'm a journalist.
I saw this Sander wearing his jersey. I'm like, Sander, are you okay? Like, sorry.
Oh, first day. That's a true Man United fan.
So, through thick and thin.
Yeah. This is the worst.
That's the picture, man.
That's the worst season ever for a top 4 club, traditional top 4.
Yeah.
And I don't even think you're a top 6 club again.
Yeah, because when you think about it, Man United have been in and out of the top 6, in and out of the top 4. So, you're right. You can't consider Man United a top 4 team. And, definitely can't consider them as a top 4 team. Now,
not even a top 6.
A top 6, you can make a slight argument, but even with that, you're on the losing side. Yeah, and it's slipping fast because of how things have played out over the years. And it's difficult. It's really difficult for Man United because
for us, say it. It is difficult for us.
He's just a fan.
I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist.
He's as emotionally invested in it as anybody else.
I'm a journalist.
But what's happening to the team? Like,
look, a lot of things are happening to the team, but I think I would say timing is everything. And when they seem to be getting things right, some part of the equation isn't aligned to the other part. And so the timing is off, they react, then the repercussions start coming in. And that's why Man United are where they are at this point in time. Because back in the day, the board didn't back the managers that they had after Alex Ferguson. For instance, David Moyes. Louis van Gaal, he came in, he got backed by a couple of players, brought in Anthony Martial, and that was pretty much it. And now the board are ready to back their manager, as we saw with Ten Hag, his final season at Man United, and as they've indicated that they are very willing to back Ruben Amorim. So that's one. Back in the day, the board wasn't eagerly ready to back the manager. They were interested in marketing the team and making profits off the field. But forgetting that it's on the field performance that will get you to be valuable and attractive for companies to be attached to you off the field. And that was the Ed Woodward days. Now they brought in Ineos and they are handling the football side of the management, of the business. And business-wise, they're getting things right on the field and off the field too. But there's another element to the equation. The managers, when they come in, they don't see out their project. Then they get sacked. And that's also an issue. So I'll give you an instance. So Mourinho came in, he promoted Scott McTominay from the academy. And he fit his style. Mourinho liked Scott McTominay. Mourinho got sacked, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, brought in Romelu Lukaku, and he fit his style. But Erik ten Hag came and both players, they were shipped off. They weren't considered as part of the project. And just yesterday, those two players scored for Napoli to win the Italian Serie A title.
McTominay scored a half volley. Lukaku scored one of the most brilliant individual goals in recent times. Right?
Exactly. And this was his second Italian Serie A title. But because he won it with Inter Milan.
Yeah.
And because both players fit the style of Antonio Conte. And funny enough, Scott McTominay was voted as the best player in the Italian league.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Man United reject is voted as the best player in Italy. That he couldn't really fit in at Man United, but some way, somehow, he goes to Italy and he's the best player in the Italian Serie A.
His United career was underrated. You know, at the point at United, he was like the best super sub.
Yeah.
He would come in and score for you.
Score goal.
You know, so
but he was still miscast. And again, it goes back to the profile and the fit in the profile. Antonio Conte loves direct football. He plays direct football. either through vertical passing or through counter-attacks. Those two guys fit perfectly with the style. Those two guys didn't fit in with Eric Ten Hag's style. So it's all about the fit. And that's why I am so glad that Ruben Amorim, the Man United manager, is insisting that he has only one style he knows how to play. And Man United should get him the players who will fit into that profile for him to see out the project. And so far, they've gotten it right by, one, showing willingness to back the manager, and the fact that the manager isn't willing to change. Because at the end of the day, his system has proven successful.
How?
I mean, the Portuguese league, we've seen him win the Portuguese league with Sporting Lisbon.
But not at United.
But yes, not at United. But at the end of the day, it was because of what he did at Sporting Lisbon that he brought him to Man United. And it was midway through the season.
A lot of coaches are good at their former clubs before they come and we see their real level, right? So you can be good at the Portuguese league, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be good in the Premier League, or that style you use in the Portuguese league will make you, a winner in the Premier League, right? So I'm not sure about his style, as you say. Let me ask you this question. People have said that United...
But the coaches who have thrived over the years, thrive playing with three men at the back.
Oh, in
real time, including your Chelsea.
No, but
Maresca,
that's a far-fetched argument.
It's not far-fetched.
Somebody can decide to play 4-back, 5-back, whatever. It's about the coach and whether you are tactically astute. But that is fair enough. A lot of people have said that United got it wrong when they missed the Ferguson, after the Ferguson era. The manager decided to bring it at the time. David Moyes was the beginning of the decline.
That was a wrong choice, I must admit.
And that's what has led to this 12, 15 years in the wilderness.
Because
you agree?
Your succession needs to be on point, and it even goes beyond football. And that's one of the reasons why I must say Ghanaian businesses, you do not have like a dynasty being built in places like Ghana. Because you look at in other accomplished places, you have generational wealth being carried over the years, generational companies. Walt Disney and Co. They were built many years ago, but the succession plan was on point. Ghana, we do not have that. And for Man United, that was also an issue. That it was clear as day that if Alex Ferguson is leaving 2013, the obvious choice was to bring in either Jose Mourinho at the time, who was very, very good, or convince some way, somehow, Pep Guardiola to come along. Because at that time, Pep had won 2 Champions League titles with Barcelona, and the signs were clear that he was ready to leave. Actually, at that time, he was even on a sabbatical leave. Yes, I remember. So 2013, yes. Pep Guardiola had left Barcelona, and he was on a sabbatical leave. That was the time for Man United to have gotten him. But some way, somehow, I don't know, the conversation didn't go as planned, and
they brought
in David Moyes based on the recommendation of Alex Ferguson. Then Pep Guardiola went over to Bayern Munich. So I think the succession plan, was an issue, and what followed afterwards was just also chaotic. So Man United,
Where did they go from here?
They're in a mess. Terrible season. Where do they go from here? I don't think they should overly react. I think they should keep their priorities straight. And they missing out on the Champions League means that they've missed out on at least £80 million for next season.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So how do they get back in the green and from the red in terms of their finances? You need to sell. And Man United players, based on the performances of the team so far, are not valuable. So you look at the assets that are valuable, and it has to be the academy players. So someone like Alejandro Garnacho has to go. Someone like Kobe Mainoo has to be sold. Because those are the guys that will fetch you a lot of money for you to be able to balance your books. And for you to be able to get some small money to go out there in the transfer market and get players who fit the Amorim style. And so, that's what Man United need to do. They need to be able to sell, to be able to get their books balanced, and be able to bring in some young players. And their scouting needs to be on point. They need to bring in players on the cheap, but players who can perform.
Should Ahmad be sold?
Ahmad, no.
So why Garnacho no Ahmad?
Well, because Garnacho has lost the plot. He lacks self-awareness, and honestly, I don't think he's a great fit at Man United. I think he needs to go to a place that thrive on, again, vertical football, because that's what he is. Let's go, one style. That's what he is. And Kobe Mainoo, his style, he plays like a regista, someone who's a deep line playmaker, like an Andre Pello. And it's not every team that can fit around him. You need to be super special to be able to have a team built around you. And at this point, Man United lack the patience and they do not have the right personnel to be able to do that. And unfortunately, they missed out on the Champions League. So they do not have the money to go out there and buy the top level players that can be used to build that style. So unfortunately, he also has to go. Then you build from the scratch. Man United, I've heard so many people say they need 7 players. Christopher Nimley saying they need 8 players. You know, I think they need just 4 players. They need just 4 players. Sign another right wing back and have Diogo Dalot operate behind him as a backup. Sign a left wing back and have he and Patrick Dogu battle for that position. Let Luke Shaw drop deep as a defender. Use him exclusively as a defender on the left side. Let Mazraoui drop deep. Use him exclusively as a defender on the right side of that back 3. There you have Maguire, Delate, Lenny Yoro, Aiden Haven. Those guys battle it out for that middle spot. Then you sign a DM. So you sign a right wing back, a left wing back. You sign a proper DM, an athletic DM. Then you sign a striker.
Ugarte was in the cut. Ugarte was in
the cut. I don't think he was the cut because at the end of the day, he's an all-action kind of midfielder, central midfielder. And you need that kind of defensive midfielder.
Interesting.
Top-level defensive midfielder to be by side. Then you're able to operate. Then you get Man United a top-level striker. Premier League on ChannelOne. Yes, the Premier League is coming to an end tomorrow. Today there are no games. To avoid any kululu, all the games will be played on Sunday at 3 p.m. All the games will be played on Sunday at 3 p.m. You know, and this season the champions have already been declared. This season, the teams that have been relegated have already been confirmed. And so what is at stake, the interesting point is about who qualifies to the Champions League. And that's between a straightforward battle between Aston Villa, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man City, and Nottingham Forest. And I think for me, Man City, they are a little bit close.
Arsenal has qualified, right?
Yeah, they've qualified. They are in second place, and they'll finish second. And so Man City, I think they're a bit close. But the straightforward battle is between Newcastle, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea. And funny enough, Nottingham Forest are playing against Chelsea tomorrow on Sunday. So we'll bring you the build-up to that game at 1 p.m. We are reviewing the entire season. So from 1 to 7, we are on City 97.3.